we started this thing at 0 members.
I actually feel like that was easier.
Why didn't you want to rely on digital ads?
I owned a gym for 7 years in Central Phoenix. Sometimes the paid ads work, sometimes they don't. And the best way that I found to really generate like consistent, loyal customers was through referrals.
You don't just know all the different businesses that you've connected with in order to build this relationship, but you've also created a network where they even know each other.
I think it was 2018. All of my Google ads and Facebook ads just tanked. Now I don't know how to go get leads.
Today I've got Laurel, my partner in the gym that I own up in Scottsdale. We're actually opening up 5 more together. Recently, you had another gym that did extremely well, and you just sold the gym to actual trainers, which is a great dream. They're continuing to do really well with it. You made off really great on that sale. And I've got you here on the show because what you did to really grow the last gym, you've also taken as one of the big contributors to how you're growing our gym and the future gyms that we've got, which is really B2B marketing. You're the queen of it. I've not met anybody nearly as good as you at building relationships and being able to take those relationships and make them not only fruitful for your company, but for the companies that they own as well. So Laurel, welcome again to the GSD Show.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is what, 3 or 4?
What?
2? How many times have you been on the show? 1,
Probably
2,
3.
3. This might be 3rd then, or 4?
Yeah.
Wow.
People sick of me yet?
I am. But the team says we should bring her on again.
All right. So I'm here.
I said I'll do my best.
Let's do
We'll
it.
see what we can do with her. No, but you do a great job with B2B, and it's one thing to hear it from you, where with your last gym, I heard what you were doing, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, and you would tell me what you would do, and I was like, that's really interesting. But it's another thing to be your partner, and then being in it and watching you do it, and being able to go to the events and watching and meeting the people that you've actually connected and seeing from the ground up also, not like jumping in halfway through. Like I jumped in with TriFit. You had already owned it.
Mm-hmm.
You had already started working on it. Whereas with this, we started this thing at 0 members.
I actually feel like that was easier because at TriFit, I had this existing thing and then I sort of had to make it into something, and it took time and there was a lot of that. But I think with Alloy, it's been cool from square one. I did kind of have that feeling of I didn't want to rely on digital ads for us.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to take some time,
Yeah.
to get that. But it's all about building relationships, and that's what I really love, and it's easy.
Why didn't you want to rely on digital ads? I mean, I know, but I want to make sure that the audience gets to hear why, because there's a lot of people that do.
Well, it's funny. I was on the power call for Loud Rumor yesterday, training about this, and I didn't even consciously really remember this being the case, but I think it was 2018. All of my Google ads and Facebook ads just tanked. I don't even know why. What happened? Something happened with an algorithm. They just stopped performing, and I didn't know. Had owned the business maybe like 2 years at that point. And I just felt so terrified of like, now I don't know how to go get leads. And that was the only way that I knew. That was what they were doing before. And it was working for us until it wasn't one day, and for no rhyme or reason. So it was a really scary time. And I think I just did it out of necessity for the first time. And it was very uncomfortable for me. I think just formerly being a person who needed everybody to like her, really struggled with rejection. Even early before I owned the gym in my sales career, I really struggled with like making the sales calls and doing that and putting myself out there. And everything that I've done has come out of necessity first, and then just this desire to kind of eradicate any of those like weak points about myself that I see as holding me back from whatever the next level is.
Before you had Alloy, you had TriFit. Before you had TriFit, you had another business. And
I had a job.
You had a job.
Yeah.
Okay. But you built it with B2B, right? Like relationships?
It was very relationship driven, but it was, it was business to business, like my business selling to another business.
What was it, by the way?
Janitorial.
Okay.
So we serviced like the larger commercial cleaning buildings. So here in Phoenix, it would be like the high rises downtown and that kind of thing. And when I was hired, my boss had none of those. It was all like very small offices. So I didn't know where to find the customers, anything about like how to price them, how to get included into the bid process for those accounts. So I really, again, out of necessity here, this is my job to go sell these accounts. I started just networking. And so I found who's in this industry that I can ask some questions and figure out where are the associations I need to be, what should I be involved in, different networking groups. And so that's what I did. So I got advice, read books, and really built that business from the same thing I'm doing now, but just a little bit different. It was being in the association, sitting on committees, getting to know the property managers was who I was selling to, and building trust with them over time. And it took a long time. And I'm thinking now, as a business owner, I didn't sell anything for it was probably 6 months. I didn't sell anything.
Wow.
And I'm surprised my boss didn't fire me, but I think I was so communicative about all the things I was doing, and there was progress. I would get us on vendor lists and things like that. And then one day, RFPs started coming in, and we got our first
RFPs, request for proposal.
Yeah.
Just for anybody.
And I got what was it? Esplanade is $1 million janitorial contract, and we were the little guy. We're nobody would have thought we were a threat, and we won that. And I was just so proud of that. Everything all the groundwork I had been laying over the years had worked, or over the 6 months.
And that's really what the B2B game is. It's not instant gratification. So for those that are instant gratification people,
It's not going to work.
you're going to be discouraged very quickly, and you're going to probably give up. But for those of you that go, you know what, I'm going to have this business for a few years, if not longer. I probably want to be playing the long game as well. This is probably one of the best things that you can do. And when you built up TriFit, well, first off, how did you get to TriFit? How did you go from janitorial industry? Because usually people go from job to job within their industry at least. But you went from commercial cleaning, essentially, right, to owning a gym. How did that happen?
My husband found the gym, and it came, again, out of necessity. I was working 60 hours a week. I was selling the accounts, servicing the accounts, when there was issues or whatever, I was the main point of contact. And I started just in sales, but they would mess up operationally, and it would be me that they're calling upset. And so I started going out at night with my janitors, understanding the cleaning plans, getting to know people. And I got told so many times by our operations team to stay in my lane, I'm just sales.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to understand it. I think I just, by nature, even back then before I was an entrepreneur, I just had that
you're nosy.
desire to nosy. I just want to solve problems. And so I'm something's not working here, and let me better understand it. And so I would go out and do that. And it just was so, I was working all the time. And I remember probably I was 9 months pregnant, and we did the Mastro's City Hall Steakhouse startup. I was 9 months pregnant, cleaning the drains behind the bar at 3 in the morning. And I'm what am I doing? I just wanted so badly to do a good job. And so I was there. And when I left, they lost half of the business. And so that's been an interesting learning lesson now, coming full circle, selling my second, selling this business, that they haven't needed me.
No.
Okay,
so your husband found, let's go in line, because I want to get to the B2B.
Yeah.
And by the way, everyone listening, just so you know, you are about to hear some incredible strategy and tactics on how she does this. But I want to really get to the story so you get to really understand Laurel, how she got here. So your husband found this gym.
Yeah.
Was he hunting for gyms, or was he hunting for businesses?
He was looking for businesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he saw the gym, and you were on board with it right away?
Well, we had looked at a vacuum shop. We were looking for profitability. That was, something that was making around $100,000, whatever, fairly low startup cost, or investment. And we looked at a nuts and bolts business, a couple things. And even in my corporate job, I would take my employees to the gym with me. I would show them how to work out. I would do weight loss challenges with my team. I did it for free, just because I wanted to help people. And so, I've given so many people that advice. If you can find something you just really love and you're passionate about it, I feel every day I go to work and it's not work, as cheesy as that sounds, true for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember getting a text and he said, I found it. And then we looked at it, and it was checked all the boxes. The owner was running it semi-absentee, and similar, had left his corporate job. He was burnt out and bought this gym, but it really wasn't making the kind of money that it said it was.
Yeah.
He just knew how to like not spend any money for a year, so it looked really great.
Yeah, fluff the numbers a bit.
Yeah. But so I bought the gym and with the intention of running it owner absentee, and then just immediately started seeing all the things I wanted to do. And
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Do it at absentee. Yeah,
no,
right.
I'm just not wired that way.
No. Okay, so now you built that gym up. I remember when I think I had first met you, I think the gym was doing between 15 to 20,000 a month. And then I think when you finally sold it, it was doing 75,000 a month,
Yeah.
right? Or somewhere around there,
Yeah.
right? Which is excellent. And then you had 2 trainers specifically, and those trainers you ended up selling it to, correct?
Yeah.
And I know Steve pretty well. And the other guy,
Alex.
oh, Alex, yeah. I know them both well. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
Mario and Luigi.
Mario Luigi, yep.
Yep.
And now the thing I really like about it is after you had sold it, not only did you walk away with a good lump sum, and not only did the members continue like nothing happened because it was their team, right?
Yeah.
And it was running really well without you having to really be in the operations.
Yep.
But how often have they needed to call you in order to figure things out?
Really not at all. And it was actually pretty cool. I called Alex a couple days ago for something, like a coaching related thing. And I said, hey, can I just pick your brain on something? And it's been really cool just seeing them level up and grow. And I think that's the thing I'm most excited for at Alloy is I'm seeing that with Tatiana, our director, with Jog, the head coach, of just giving them opportunities to shine and grow as leaders. And I think I love Loud Rumor for that too, because they get to see other people like doing amazing things in Loud Rumor, and it makes the right people.
It
wanna
raises
be
their
better.
standard. That's what happens. It raises their
Oh,
standard.
you just plugged it.
You gave me listen, when you do this and you just give me a this, I'm gonna spike it down. You
I teed it up.
alley-ooped it for me.
I did.
Yeah. No, it's true though. So for those of you that don't know, Loud Rumor is where the best gyms go to grow. But we also have a program called the Studio Manager Program. And so that allows the managers to also see, wow, these are what other managers are doing all over the world. And, a lot of them thought they were A players until they get around A players and are like, there's another level to this. And it gets a lot out of it. So, yeah, it's been great watching Tatiana connect with other people as well. I think she had lunch with one of the managers recently, right? Keela from Collective.
She didn't tell me she was doing that.
She's a killer.
She just does. But I think that's been cool seeing them continue to grow. But yeah, I mean, we had 3 months of calls set up after I sold the business, and after the first one where I showed them how to run payroll, we did profit first for like managing their finances. And after that first call, they didn't need anything from me, which has honestly been, I mean, I try to be very transparent with people when I'm on these so people don't feel like they're the only ones. And there has definitely been like a learning lesson in there for me, wanting to grow to this next stage of there's still a part of me that wants to be needed, that wants to be the person.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And so letting go of that ego and really realizing that it's about helping my team grow and giving them the credit and giving them the role and the responsibility and the authority over what needs to be done.
Yeah.
I didn't do that for a long time. That's why in my corporate job, everything fell apart when I left.
Yeah.
And it was sad.
Yeah. But you've developed as a leader. So when you do a good job as a leader, whatever category it is, your job as a leader is to develop the people to be able to continue to lead.
Yeah.
That's your job. I remember I dropped off Julian for the first time at preschool, and I was like preparing him. I was like, hey, just so you know, it's going to be okay. And he's like, yeah, I know, I'm fine. Dad, bye. And he just like walked away. He didn't even look back. He just went in, fine. And I'm like, I don't know if I should feel happy or sad right now, because happy,
He doesn't need me.
I did my job.
Yeah.
He feels confident. It's what I wanted, but not even a look back, not even a reach, something. So it's similar feeling probably, right?
Yeah.
Like where it's like, that means I did a good job as an owner and as a leader, and you guys are prepared and you have everything you need. But at the same time, it's,
there's a little bit of a loss there. And I think, it's really changing that mindset about like where you get your satisfaction and your motivation from. Weren't we just talking about this? That it was like, if I really picked the things that I like doing that feel the best to me, I love selling I love helping people. I love being in there talking to my members. Like, feels great.
Yeah.
Is it really fun to like look at my finances regularly and like budget and like plan things
Yeah.
and deal with problems? And no, but like that's what's required. Like
Yeah.
looking over the leases, like, but to continue to grow and help more people,
Yeah.
that's what,
Gives you energy.
yeah. I don't love that as much, but that's where what I need to do to continue to grow and help more people.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so sold the business. Alex and Steve don't need you. They're fine without you. Moving on. And now we got this new business that you opened up with Mike Arce. And we started up with Alloy. Now, when I say we, I'm not going to take more than 4% credit here. Laurel, you're running the show. You're your operating partner, and you're taking it on. And you know the employees. You know what they care about. I know them, and I'm playful with them, but I really don't have any hand in really leading them or developing them. That's really all you. And you're doing a fantastic job, not only in developing them, but even selecting the right people to develop in the first place. And same thing with every member you have. I have not sold any. I don't even think I've talked to more than a couple when I just kind of pop in and say hi. You've done an incredible job there.
Thank you.
And with the amount of members that you've sold, so many of them have come from some way, whether it's directly or indirectly, your ability to build relationships. And what I'd like to do in this particular episode is really walk through it. So I know that I know certain things about your process and what you do, but I want this to almost be as a conversation where you're training me.
Mm-hmm.
You're about to walk away from this Alloy location to help me develop the next one, to help someone develop the next one. And but on that next one, let's say you're making the decision that I have to be the one that develops these relationships. You're not gonna be able to do it. So you got to give me a playbook.
Okay.
You're gonna walk me through what I need to do in order to be successful in developing this relationship or these relationships to build that gym up to.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sure.
Okay, great. So what's the first thing I need to know? I'm opening up this gym, Laurel. It's in Northwest Peoria, where I live, and I got to build these relationships. Like, do I really have to do it? Why is it important?
I think the first thing is getting your mindset in the right place, that it's about what you can do for them. Like, if you go into it with this attitude of me, and this, I have this new business, how can everybody help me? I think people can really see through that. And even if they didn't see through it, it's just the wrong way to approach kind of anything in life, in my mind. So if you go into it with a service mentality of understanding how hard business can be for people that maybe don't have all the resources that we have, of being able to ask people and get asked for help, they're doing this alone. And a lot of them don't have time. They don't have a lot of money to spend on marketing, all those things. So if you go in there with a little bit of empathy and a service mentality about how you can help people and what value you're going to bring to them first, I think that is like paramount first and foremost, to have the right mindset.
Okay, so the giver's gain mentality.
100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
I am in BNI, so plug to BNI there.
Yeah.
So I would say after that, making sure that you do a little bit of research, like do some groundwork first about what are the businesses that are going to be in my area. If it's a new development, which ones are going to be going in next to me?
Which ours was, right?
Yeah. So Pinky Nails, where we were, that was going in, I think it went in like a month before. So definitely like having strong relationships with the people that are right in your plaza if you can. And then doing a little research and seeing who are the best of the best in your area that align with your brand. So for Alloy, we are a little bit older demographic. So I was thinking about what are those premium brands that are going to best align with what we do. If it's more of like
premium's also because of the price
point
as well. So it's you got to think about age, and also like how much does Alloy charge on average, and what could it be?
Yeah, between $350 to $550, depending on the area and the pricing tier and all that.
Per month.
Yeah, for the membership. And it's personal training, so it's not, a class with 40 people is a little bit different. But which brands do you want to align yourself with? Who has the same customer you have?
Yeah.
So I know if I walk into Zoltan Salon, for example, I see like 90% of the people there are going to be most likely over 40, probably over 50, and it's not cheap. So if that's where they're choosing to get their hair done, very different than they're getting their hair cut at great clips
Sure.
in the plaza.
Totally different demographic.
It's not the same customer. So where does my customer hang out? The restaurants that are in the area that are they more of like a premium place where people are going to go?
$70 steak or a $12 steak.
Yeah, and not to say like that our demographic doesn't eat at Chipotle. I'm sure they do, but
The odds are higher.
but I might do a happy hour at a place like that instead.
Yeah.
A nicer place. So which brands are going to align first and foremost? So it just doesn't feel off when you're doing the marketing. And then you go in and you talk to people and you just be like a normal, likable human being. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust, the same as they want to buy from people they know, like, and trust. So when I walk in, or if you were walking into a new place, first I would do the research in advance and find out who owns that place. Is it a franchise? Is it a local mom and pop place? Is there a manager that's running it? Is there an owner that's
Okay.
like, forward facing? I would follow them on their social media. Maybe
Before you go.
Yep.
So
maybe they've, and I didn't do that with everybody, but maybe look and see, do they have a social media following? Ideally, if they do, especially like us, we were a brand new business. We have no customers, no social media, we have nothing. So we want to borrow these people's traffic, if we
You know
can.
what's interesting too with a lot of local businesses? I mean, how many followers a day does the average local business get? Maybe a couple? Few?
A few when? At what?
Followers
Frequency.
on Instagram. Yeah, like in a day.
Not even.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so if you were to follow them, there's a good chance they checked out your profile.
Yeah.
Which means when you walk in, you're a familiar face.
Yeah. Like a couple posts, you comment on something. People will notice a comment more than
Yeah.
they will a like. And then, so you're walking in, you're asking for a specific person's name. If
Well, what are you
can.
wearing? Are you dressed up in alloy gear?
No, nor professional clothes.
What's that?
I'm not
like this, like what you're wearing now?
I mean, this is probably too dressy.
Okay.
Like jeans and maybe like a cute top or something like that. Like, just look nice.
What if I'm a guy? What do I wear?
I was going to make a joke, but I won't. Okay. Just like a polo shirt. I don't know. Not a hoodie. Not that.
Okay, not a hoodie. Okay, so a polo.
Yeah, polo and jeans. Just look nice. We want to look professional and, again, represent like the brand that we're,
Yeah.
And then smiling, confident, warm, especially in our situation where we had no clients. Why would they partner with us?
Right.
What is in it for them?
Yeah.
So I need to be even more confident in like, why does this person want to do business with me? So if I walk in there and I've got my head down and I'm quiet and I'm just, hi, would you, like, it's not going to be received the same way. So
Right.
sometimes how we train like the referral ask or different things that we do, and people are like, oh, I tried it and it didn't work. Well, show me how you tried it.
Yeah.
And their delivery just wasn't. So I would say practice that, role play it with people. So if you're not naturally like an outgoing person,
Mm-hmm.
either have someone else do it, or you got to really turn that on and be that person in the moment when you're meeting people and be really
Yeah.
friendly and engaging.
And there's two reasons why it may not have worked, right? Reason number one is how you did what you did, right? Just like working out. Somebody coming to you and saying, I worked out before, it didn't work. Well, it's like, yeah, but working out works,
Yeah.
right? You may not have done it right.
Right.
Then the other thing of why it may not have worked is because sometimes it doesn't work. Like even with you, right? You're a pro at this, but like,
Sure.
are you 100% batting 1,000?
Nope.
No, sometimes it doesn't happen.
Yeah. I mean,
You're pretty close to 1,000, but sometimes it doesn't work, Laura.
if you think about it, like, why would this person really say no?
Yeah.
Like, most people should not say no. If you're positioning it in the right way and you really have the right attitude about it and you're trying to help and you're friendly, like, most people are not going to say no.
Right.
They might not be able to. Let's say it's a franchise and there's requirements. Panera was not allowed to do things with us. And I was like, okay, well,
Okay.
Yeah. So you're walking in there, you ask for a specific person's name, and I would say something along the lines of, hey, are you Mike by chance? Or is Mike here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Mike. Awesome. My name's Laurel. I'm opening a gym, Alloy Personal Training, like a half a mile from here. And it's a premium service. We're going to have such an amazing community. I just sold my other gym that I owned for 7 years. And I know that marketing sometimes can be hard. And I think that we would have a very similar customer. And it can be kind of hard to, spend money on ads and things like that aren't always working. And I think we could really help support each other's business and like share referrals and everything. Is that something you'd be interested in maybe doing?
Wow. Yeah. I'd be open to it.
Cool. Okay. Well, And then, from there, it's just like, tell me a little bit about what you do. I actually didn't
Do you
say
do it
that.
right there, or do you ever like take them out? Do you offer lunch, coffee, anything like that?
I forgot, like, the first thing I would say is, I'm opening this new business and I'm just wanting to stop by and meet my neighbors. I'd love to learn more about what you do. That's what I would say.
Okay, so the first thing that you told me, that's like at the coffee or at the
Usually
meeting.
it's that first thing. I'm just meeting my neighbors, opening a new gym. I just wanted to find out more about what you guys do and how I might be able to help.
Okay, cool.
That's what I would say. And then as the conversation goes, it's like, I know advertising is expensive. I think our customers would be like very similar. Like my customers would use you and vice versa. I think we could probably share referrals,
Okay.
And do you do anything like that? Do you have any other local businesses you work with?
Let's do a role play
Yeah.
where I'm really going to be that guy. And
Okay.
I might be a little bit of a skeptic, but not close. I'm not going to be a pain in the ass in the role play. But
Okay.
I'm going to be what I believe is a typical skeptic. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. So you walked in. Let's say I'm front desk first. I'm not even the main guy.
You're not the main guy.
I'm not the main guy. I'm a front desk person.
What
at
are you?
Zoltan's.
What is this?
Zoltan's, the hair salon.
The hair salon. Okay.
Okay. I'm a front desk guy, just checking people in, checking people out. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. You walk in.
I walk in. Hi,
Hi.
my name's Laurel.
Hi, Laurel.
What's your name?
Mike.
Hey, Mike. So I'm just opening a new business here, Alloy Personal Training. We're like half a mile from you. I was just wondering if Mike is here. He's the manager, right?
Yeah, he's the manager. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not selling you anything, by the way. I'm just out meeting my neighbors. I think that we would actually have a really similar client, and I'd love to be able to refer business to you guys.
Okay.
Does he have like maybe 5 minutes? I could just introduce myself?
Yeah, let me go grab him.
Cool.
Okay, so now I go grab him. Can I show up Mike number 2?
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
I'm Laurel.
Hi, Laurel.
Nice to
How
meet
can I help
you.
you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so I'm opening a new gym, like just right down the street from you guys.
Oh, congratulations. What's it called?
Alloy Personal Training. Have you seen the sign? It's right on Scottsdale Road.
I think I might have seen it actually, yeah.
Yeah, we're super close. I've actually got my hair done here a couple of times. And
really?
Yeah, I live in the neighborhood.
By the way, you say it only if it's true?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not lying.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
But some type of like rapport building
Yeah.
something if I can.
Yeah.
I love the cookies that you guys have here.
Okay.
I eat here all the time, whatever.
Yeah.
And then where were we?
You were saying, yeah, I've got my hair done here a couple times.
Yeah, you guys do such a great job, and I just think our client base would be very, very similar. Alloy's a premium brand, so it's $400 or $500 a month membership. I know like the services you guys offer are really like top notch, and marketing can be expensive. I just think we could really easily cross promote and help each other. Do you do anything like that with other local businesses?
Not really. I mean, I'm not closed off to it, but well, not really.
Okay. Do you know why? Like just time or?
Yeah, I don't know. We just not how we do. We usually just do like paid ads or we get walk-ins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you'd be open to something like that, but what I've experienced, I owned a gym for 7 years in Central Phoenix, and sometimes the paid ads work, sometimes they don't. And the best way that I found to really generate like consistent, loyal customers was through referrals. And so I think, my clients, they're getting their hair done somewhere.
Yeah.
So I would love to be able to send them to you. And especially if you're open to that, maybe every new member that comes in, I could give them some little, free something to come in and try you guys out. Open to ideas, but I was thinking maybe we could just meet for a coffee and just chat about maybe what would be the best options.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say no to that. Yeah, I love it. I love how you said, instead of saying your clients, you said my clients get their hair done somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now I'm not thinking about my clients. I'm protecting them from you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about infiltrating your clients.
Yeah.
Which,
And I have no clients yet, which is the
yeah,
funny
I know,
thing.
but I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. Okay, so then from there, you set up a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that you did that I really like too is that you created a network. So not only do you know each of those people,
Yeah.
but you've made it so they know each other as well. Is that correct? Oh, by the way, now I can't see you drink out of a straw normally, just so you know. Okay,
I do it?
we're going to, let me, for everyone listening, I'm going to tell you what's going on
Now
here.
you're going to do it on a close up and embarrass me,
No,
and then
no, we're
my
not
kids are going to make fun of me.
Yeah, so this is this segment, this piece for your daughters. So I know her daughters pretty well, and so we were on speaker, and they were asking me if I ever saw Laurel drink out of a straw before, and they made this video. And I guess because Laurel doesn't want to mess up her lip gloss, she has this really weird thing that she does.
Did I do
and
it?
they all imitated you. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Yeah,
Like,
we'll zoom in.
live right
yeah,
now.
we'll zoom in on slow mo for the audience.
No, you're not.
but anyway, let's get back from that.
Now I'm just going to be thirsty the whole rest of the episode. I'm
yeah.
not going to be able to have anything.
I'm going to say things that will trigger the thirst.
And then I'm
brain
just going to see you
chemical.
laugh at me. It'll be a serious moment.
Yeah, I'm going to like randomly like take out my phone and just like.
You're such
Okay,
a jerk. Anyway.
let's get back. Back. Okay, so, but yeah, you don't just know all the different businesses that you've connected with in order to build this relationship, but you've also created a network where they even know each other.
Yeah.
Right? And did you give it a name?
Scottsdale Wellness Collective.
Scottsdale Wellness Collective. Is that like what's the abbreviation? Is that anything or no?
No.
Okay, I was wondering if you made a thing.
Well, and then we called it that, and we're like, are we actually allowed to call it this? Is this like a thing somewhere?
Yeah, no. Who
It's
cares?
not,
Yeah,
but
okay.
yeah.
So now how many businesses are in that little group that you created?
There's about 12.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you guys meet up or how does that work?
We have our meeting tomorrow. So we meet monthly. I wanted to do it in person at first, and then it just like not everyone could make it, and the times and kid drop offs, it just wasn't as feasible to do that. So we moved it to Zoom 2 months ago.
Okay.
And so once a month, it's not always on the same day, but we set the day and time on the next meeting, so everybody knows when it's going to be. And, I would love to require everyone to be there, but some people are going to come, some people aren't. And actually with 12 people, you can't get you can't do a promotion with everyone in 1 month. So it works out fine. Just whoever can make it. And then I can talk about that later unless you want me to go into that now.
Yeah, I'd like to know
what
about
those meetings look like.
Yeah, I'd like to know first, like, okay, so I met with you. Let's say I'm a new business that you just connected with, number 13, potential number 13.
Okay.
Are you telling me that you've got a network of the other 12 businesses and name dropping in order to like get me even more enticed?
Yes.
Because that would be smart, right? Because
we
now
work
I'm like,
with this and this and this and this.
yeah, we're all part of it. And I'm like, wait, them?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So once you get a few, it's easier to get the next few.
Oh, 100%. When I walked in, I think Zoltan's was the first one I walked into. And honestly, I'm trying to think, most of the places that I walked into, I was able to do our little social media walkthrough reel and sit down with them right then. I didn't have to schedule anything. Like we just here's the deal we're going to do. Here's the cross promotion. I did, this is probably worth telling people. I did a collaboration post on Instagram where it was me and either the owner or the manager. So on the Instagram wall, it was the two of us. Because it doesn't make sense, right? If I'm just on theirs and they're just on mine, people are like, who is this person?
Yeah.
But if it's both of us, and then you could title it, shop local, community partnerships, like something like that.
Okay.
And then it would just be a little walkthrough of their place. I shot it. I edited it. Did the post, everything. All they had to do was just tell me tell me a little bit about your business. What do you want me to write? Bullet points. I still wrote it.
So you lead with giving first. Like,
yes.
I'm gonna film this at your place.
Do all of it. All I need from you is
spot.
what you want to offer and like what your services are. I'll write a post. I would make it, send them the caption. Hey, is this all okay? Anything you want me to change? And then post it. And that's how we got a lot of our traffic initially.
Yeah. You got a lot of followers from it quick.
We didn't have any. I mean, there was
zero. It's a brand new business.
Yeah.
And you know what? By the way, I'm going to tell you something that you don't know about Laurel. She's hiding something. So not only is she building businesses, but while she's doing this and she's doing these tours for people, she's getting her hair done, she's getting massages, she's getting all these wonderful services.
I paid for them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not as cool. I thought you were definitely.
I mean, they
getting
gave me
up.
discounts and stuff, but I did pay for them.
But yeah, so I saw, like the hair, for example, you were there getting your hair done.
It looks like an alien.
You did look like a little bit, yeah. And then you were getting a massage, I think, as well. It was one of a massage. And so it's great because you actually will go in, you'll have, I'm assuming there's a third person filming, has to be, because you're there walking with the person. And then from there, then you just create a quick video, you post it on your wall, and you make them a collaborator.
Yeah, so it shows up on theirs.
So they accept the collaboration. Now all of a sudden their audience is getting to know you. Are you wearing alloy?
Yeah, always a branded shirt.
Okay.
And keep them less than 30 seconds.
Less than 30 seconds. How often do you do stuff like this between the filming or the posting or whatever?
Yeah, so in pre-sale, I did one a week. So every Friday there was so if I didn't have someone, I was like, I got to go meet some new people because we had about 12 weeks of pre-sale. So I had a new one every week. And then once I had them all in there, I just made a highlight with all the partners.
Wow.
So people could see who they were and what the deal was or whatever.
And a highlight, you mean on Instagram?
On Instagram.
Those circles above the posts.
Yeah.
Those are called highlights, just for anybody that's not big on Instagram. And then you can make a story a highlight and now give it a theme. So
Yeah.
like that highlight would be community partners,
Community
right?
partnerships or partners, whatever.
Partnerships, yeah.
And I think the other thing with Instagram specifically is I encouraged all the people that are in our little thing to go use each other's services and just take a selfie. You go get your nail. I get my nails done at Pinky's. I take a picture of my daughter and I love Pinky nails and I post it. So they're seeing that, which it doesn't make a lot of sense if you're not doing it a lot. But I was doing it from the beginning of like, we're a local business. We support local other small businesses. We do things with other people. It was just always like what we did from the beginning.
That was the brand to you in the network.
Yeah. Yeah. So people, I'd get my hair done at Zoltan's. I'd take a picture of it. And I think they got like 2 customers from that.
Yeah.
My people are looking at it like, oh, I need a hair person. Laurel goes there.
Wow. That's
So-
great. So now, is there anything that you've learned works really, really well in terms of like leveraging the partners? So, I know we do events. I know you're posting on social media. I know that you go to their spots with events, like you did something with pickleball recently. Maybe we can dive into that as well. But like, what have you learned works really, really well, where you're like, wow, we're really getting a lot of attention, leads, followers, sales, all that stuff.
I mean, I think the grand opening was really successful.
Yeah.
We had probably 100 people there.
It was almost fire marshal worthy.
Yeah.
It was close. We might have actually broke that limit. I don't know.
And I told you my like paralyzing fear about that whole thing. Didn't I tell you
Yeah,
this?
'cause what's the capacity? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah, we
It
should.
might
It's
be
better
on the
we don't know.
wall.
Let's not find out. Let's not find out.
Ask for forgiveness.
We didn't know. We got to keep playing ignorance, Laurel. Keep playing the ignorance card.
Highlight of the grand opening party was the Avicii on the DJ and riding the
yeah.
assault bike in my
Yep.
dress, right? With my Louis Vuittons on.
You and our studio manager T were in dresses, and you were riding an assault bike fast
to house music.
And you were sweating.
I mean, it was like 30 seconds. It was fine. But I had that.
It's a long time.
I visualized that moment months
Oh,
before it
really?
actually happened.
So that wasn't random.
No,
I didn't even know that.
no.
I thought that was random.
I pictured that.
Wow, that's interesting.
I don't
Okay,
know if
cool.
it looked as cool as it was in my head.
It did. It would make for great content, and also everybody circled up around you because that assault bike is like everyone knows. Yeah, you go, oh, it was only 30 seconds, but you're maxing out 30 seconds.
Yeah.
like you do anything as hard as you can for 30 seconds. 30 seconds is a longer time than you
Yeah.
think.
But with the party, I had one birthday party where like no one showed up, and it was just a fluke thing. They all were like late.
Like
Someone was
personal
here.
birthday party, like for you.
For me, and
No.
no one showed up, and it was just one of those things. And I was like in the pool floating around, and like none of my friends came, and I had this like, no one's gonna come, and I've done all this work, and no one's gonna come. They came later.
That was
but
the
it was
one I
awful.
was not invited to. But
We didn't know each other then.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
fair.
So I had a lot of fear around like I'm gonna put all this work in, like nobody's gonna show up. But I think I told you this. I'm like, if people don't come to this, I don't know what else I could have done because
Yeah.
it was. So we did. I mean, there was so much giving to everyone else as far as like how to help them. And then when the grand opening was going to happen, I said, can everybody please send this out to your email list? They all put flyers at their front desk. Everybody posted it on social media. The other thing on social media is tag. Anytime you promote something, tag everyone. Like hide it.
So everybody in your network,
Yep.
every time you post something, you tag so that other people can not only like it but possibly share it.
Yeah, on your stories on Instagram. You
Okay.
post a promotion, an event you're doing, something, you just tag all of your community partners, and then automatically that's going to go out to all of their audiences if they
Okay.
reshare it.
So only promotion. So if it's like sometimes you post a testimonial.
No.
No. Okay.
No-
So
no.
if you're running an event like you're having as of the filming, as of right now, we're hosting an event on Saturday.
Right.
So if you're promoting that event,
Mm-hmm.
then you would tag your partner so they can share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, just a reminder, I think I forgot to do that this time. And I'm like, duh,
Yeah.
So it's not, you're not going to get it perfect. I even noticed, even just this month, we had our esthetician left the salon, the manager left the salon. I have to go build a new relationship with that person.
The new
So
one.
you do have to, you have to spend some time and some TLC on these relationships with people.
So now another thing is there's a pickleball place that either just opened up or it's right near you, and pickleball is blowing up right now. So what are you
Yeah.
doing with that place?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I harassed the hell out of them. I went in there like 6 times and
Okay.
they were always very friendly, but so that's a good example, like just persistence. Every time I walked in there, I wasn't like embarrassed or like, hi, like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I just acted like I haven't followed up 6 times before and hey guys, it's me. What's going on?
Right.
Whatever. And they have allowed us now to come in and put up a table anytime during their open play. So it's a membership pickleball place, but they have open play where for 2 hours, anybody can just come. You don't have to have a team or people you're playing with, and they'll just sort you based on ability level. So we're doing like pickleball warm-ups or
Okay.
drills before they play. And it's really just an opportunity for me to go in there and talk to people. That's all.
Yeah. I saw T teaching something too.
Yeah.
She was teaching, I think it was like the exercises that are the best for, I guess, preventing injuries for
Yeah.
pickleball.
Well, there's a lot of lateral movement in
Yeah.
pickleball, and a lot of them aren't training. So that's
Yeah.
where they mess up their knees and stuff like that. So some band work, I mean, really simple. But again, it's just an opportunity to talk to people where
Yeah.
I'm not walking up to strangers in the parking lot. I have a reason to be there.
Right.
So we can do that. They said kind of anytime. And so we're still kind of testing like what works the best. I think the one that's worked has gotten the most actual customers is the one we did with the nail salon. I think this would work with a hair salon as well, where you just get a couple of your partners to donate a prize. So we did a facial. I did 2 weeks of personal training, and then the nail salon did a free like set or something. So it was like $300 or $350 value. And we did 2 posts on Instagram that we all shared on our pages of we're celebrating moms. ChatGPT wrote the whole thing, so it doesn't take a long time to like write the content. And it was just clips of us getting our nails done, cheersing with some champagne, something like that, and then telling everyone on a particular date we're offering 15% off for all appointments all day at Pinky
Okay.
Nails, and anyone who shows up that day gets a raffle ticket for every service that they get. So I got their list of
Wow.
everybody
How many?
that I think it was like 25 people
Okay. Wow.
that put in a ticket for it. I think we got six members signed up from that. It
Just from
cost
that
me
one thing.
nothing.
Yeah.
So I just called all of them and said, we were going to give away one free 2 weeks, and we had so many people that I decided to give away 5,
Yeah.
and you were one of my winners. So
How often can you do something like that?
I mean, I don't want to be a pest
Right.
so I was thinking quarterly.
With the same business or
Sure.
different? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it quarterly with the same business, could you do it quarterly on other months with another business and just
Yeah.
keep doing one a month?
And
let's say
I
with
would have
4?
done that, but this is the transition that we had at the salon where
Okay.
I don't have that relationship anymore. I need to go meet that person.
Got it.
Otherwise, I would have been doing that already.
Got it. So you could take 4 businesses and do quarterly with each one and just have one once a month you're doing this.
Exactly. Yeah. And so the important thing to highlight, I would put your friendliest person there, like someone doesn't mind going up and talking to people, and you have a little table set up. And as people are getting their treatments, hair, nails, whatever they're doing, you're walking up to them, and I might say something like, you're getting your nails done or something, pretend. I would say, so, hey, did you hear about the promotion that's happening today?
No.
Well, lucky day for you. Like, just for being here today, Pinky Nails is doing 15% off your service today. So if you get nails
Oh.
and toes, you get 15% off both. And we're doing a big raffle prize giveaway. So it's $350, 2 weeks of free personal training with me. I own the studio just right next door. A free facial and a free nails.
Wow.
So, yeah. So all you have to do is just when you pay up front, you'll get a raffle ticket, and we'll let you know if you won.
Wow. And I get 15% off no matter what?
Yeah, you get 15% off today just for being here. So you picked a good day.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That just feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do you work out anywhere right now?
No.
And then I would literally go into like a discovery call right then.
And if I say yeah,
Oh, where are you working out?
lifetime?
Are you going?
Yeah, like maybe, I mean, on a good week,
Are
3,
you
4.
sure? Maybe if yeah, sort of kind
Not
of.
as much as I probably should.
I mean, that's pretty typical.
Yeah.
That's pretty typical. What's your name, by the way?
Mike.
I'm Laurel.
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
Laurel.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you're interested, but we're giving away like a couple free sessions if you want to come try it out. Love to have you in, just see if maybe we can get you going a little bit more consistently. What do you think?
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
So,
Okay.
I mean, a lot of time I would just strike up the conversation right then and there. And then when I was calling people following up, they remembered at least
Of
talking to me,
course. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
you know?
Last thing I want to dive in on is the events. So we just did an event about a month ago, not even, maybe 3 weeks ago. And it was around the idea of like how even if you're over 40, you can still perform better than people in their 20s.
Yeah.
And so we did a whole seminar on how to help people that are 40s and up, because that's our demographic, right?
Mm-hmm.
45 and up is pretty much our demographic. How we can help them really understand fitness at a high level. But then from there, we dropped kind of like teasers for future seminars that we want to have. And the seminar we have coming up this weekend is what?
On metabolism.
On metabolism,
Mm-hmm.
which we know if you're in your 40s, you know that your metabolism is not what it was in your early 20s.
Right.
Right. So the idea is selling people on how to get their metabolism either back or elevated again,
How to eat, sleep, and live for a faster metabolism.
how to eat, sleep, and live for a faster metabolism. So audience comes in, and are you leveraging your partners to be able to share and promote this event?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we would be putting it on our Instagram stories and then just tagging everybody in all the posts and then they share it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Very
Or in the comments. If it's a reel, for example, then tag them in the comments too.
Yeah.
And then they can reshare that way if they want.
Yeah, and for the audience listening too, like a really good tip, because I help out with the beginning part of that. If you're really serious about having an event, you can go to ChatGPT, a tool like that, and say, hey, here's my demographic, 45 and up, typically women, but I do work with men as well. They do pay a little bit more because of this, whatever. Just fill in the blanks. If you already have a customer avatar sheet, great. You can upload it. And then say, I'm looking at having 6 different seminars. Please give me seminar titles that would be so intriguing to that demographic that they would feel compelled to go, that they cannot miss it for the world. And just by doing that, it'll give you a bunch. And then let's say you like 1 and 3 out of the 6 they give you. You could just say, hey, I like 1 and 3 the best. Give me 5 more, just like 1 and 3. And then from there, you narrow down the list, and then you got your list. So it's really, really easy. We didn't have to think too much.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Right.
Awesome. And Laurel, anything you want to add to what we talked about? Because if not, I got a question for you.
I think the only thing I wanted to add was a note about the book I read, Rejection Proof.
Okay.
I think that at the end of the day, why do some people not do this? Like, why do they not?
Fear.
Yeah. I think at some basic level, most people want to be liked. They don't want to look stupid. They don't want to walk in and someone reject them. So this kind of thing comes super easily to me because I feel like why would anyone not want to do that? But I do realize when we're talking about this that that's probably not the case for some people. And so just how I had to kind of overcome some of that fear of rejection and need to be liked and all that stuff early on in my sales career, I think that same fear could hold people back with something like this. So the book I read was called Rejection Proof.
Okay.
And I mean, it really just changed my mindset of like how much you're letting that hold you back from getting the thing that you want, whatever that thing is, because you're afraid.
Yeah.
So
And for everyone
highly
listening,
recommend that.
Laurel you'd be like, oh, easy for you. You're just confident like that. Well, I do remember a story where you sat in your car for a while because you were afraid to go in. Can you just share that really quick so people can relate? Be like, oh, she's actually even more afraid than I was.
Yeah, I was out flyering and we fired our ad agency like right after we opened, like a month or
Okay.
something. And so there were no leads coming in for a month
This was when?
with you
Oh,
in
with me.
February.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And so I'm like, we got to figure this out.
I
Like
remember that,
I
yeah.
have to do something. So again, out of necessity. So I'm out flyering cars in the pickleball parking lot. And I had told myself I'm going to walk up to 25 strangers and just hand out the, free session pass or whatever. And I was walking around in the parking lot and I could literally just like feel myself just like, I just like didn't want to do it. And I got in my car and I went home and I was so pissed off at myself. I just was like disgusted by it
Yeah.
of like that I couldn't get myself to do it, like that I just did that. And I literally ordered that book like that night. I was like, I'm going to figure this out.
Wow.
I'm not going to be this person. And I can't ask my team to do it if I'm not willing to do it, period.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that there's this thing I talked about it at GSD Con a few months back where, people are like, oh, but I'm afraid. Well, Yeah, I get it. Everyone is.
Hmm.
Courage cannot exist without fear. So if you're afraid, don't think that the other person's not afraid and that's why they're doing it. They're afraid too. The difference between a coward and a hero is the hero does it regardless.
Yep.
And the example I gave at GSD, I don't know if you remember, I was like, if there's a burning building and there's someone in there that needs help and you run into the building and you feel no fear, that doesn't make you brave. That makes you a psycho. Like if
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, burning building, and you just walk in it,
Yeah.
that means you're like a psychopath. Like,
Yeah.
the
There's
fact
nothing
that,
hard about it.
yeah, that means there's something wrong, and you could just walk in there, fine. But for you to be like knowing I could die in here,
Hmm.
and you run in there, that is the hero. That's the courageous person.
Right.
Is a person that does that. So with you, same thing. Hey, you let your inner coward come out that first day, right?
Mhm.
And that's what you felt disgusted with. And then you did not feel the fear after that. It's not like you read the book and you're like, I'm just not afraid anymore. No,
No.
you just reframed it and you go like, I get it now.
What was so great, and I remember you telling this story about like the basketball, like when you know what the expectations are, like
Mhm.
how are the best basketball players? Like what's the percentage?
Yeah. So that
When
now,
you know what great is, you're like, okay, like that's not so bad.
yeah,
I'm not horrible. Like that's what the standard is. So I wasn't expecting to go out and like, talk to 25 people and I'm going to get 25 people to come in. I'm like, if I get 2 people to talk to me and I
to
get
win.
1 to come, like great,
Yeah,
But I think just with everything, I know you and I both read on stoicism and things
Mhm.
like that. I had to make a really tough money decision in my business a couple of
Yeah.
years ago that
Yep.
was affecting profitability. So I think it's just in every stage of growth as a business owner and just a human being, of like having that really honest, transparent look at yourself of like where you need to grow and get better. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that's what I'm
100%.
trying to do.
And for those of you that, for the basketball analogy, just to give a little context to it, the idea was Steph Curry is considered one of the best shooters of all time, arguably the best shooter of all time, but he only makes 50% of his 3-pointers, which means he misses half the time. Now, if he didn't know the data, if he didn't know what good was, he would be like, man, I suck at basketball.
I'm
I
failing.
take a shot, I make it. I take a shot, I miss it. I take a shot, I make it. I take a shot, I miss it. I just can't make more than half. Yeah, but like half is world history. Like
Right.
you are literally making history.
Yes.
You're a Hall of Famer at half. It's like, oh, what's the same thing with sales? Once you understand what the close rates are, what the book rates are, what the show rates are, success rates for B2B, once you understand what like rates are for good,
Mm-hmm.
then you can measure up against that and aim to be the greatest, but not need to feel like you need to bat 1,000 because that just might be in a whole different stratosphere.
Right.
A dream. Yeah.
Were you gonna ask me something?
Well, the last question's a fun question.
Okay.
I've been on a kick with this question,
Okay.
and it's only good for dog people. You already know where I'm going with this, Brady. Okay, you're a dog person.
Yes.
So you have 3 options for your dog. What's your dog's name?
Donut.
Donut. Of course it is. Way to get a cheap meal in the house without having to eat it.
AKA
Okay.
pig.
Pig. So I want you to imagine Donut now, all of a sudden, for the rest of his life, her life. Donut can do any one of these 3 things.
Okay.
You can only pick one. Number 1, Donut can now clean the house, and she loves it, and she cleans it as well as a professional company coming to keep your house clean.
Okay.
That's option number 1. Option number 2, Donut can drive legally. No one's going to give her a ticket, and she does it great. So she can run errands for you, take you places, whatever.
Mhm.
Option number 3, she can speak, but only in French. Which one are you picking?
I feel like this is a trick question.
No. It's just fun for me.
I mean, I've got 3 kids. I think the driving one.
The
And I already
driving
have a
one?
house cleaner.
You don't want to know what Donut's thinking.
No.
The last 2 people I asked said, oh, yeah, I'll learn French. We'll figure it out. I like it. You're like, I don't care what you're thinking. Just take the kids so I can nap.
No. Haven't you ever talked about anybody like, why do you love your dog so much? It's such a pure, we talked about it last night.
Yeah,
Like, it's such a pure,
it's true.
there's just nothing. And I know it's so egotistical. It's like, because you never argue with me and like, I don't need to know your opinion about things or disagree, but there's just such a like absolute love from animals. Why do I want to poison that.
Yeah. And imagine
Just
the
let it
disappointment.
exist.
Imagine the
They don't
disappointment and
even
the
really
wish
like
when you
you.
realize they don't think. Like also you're like, so what are you thinking?
Food,
Bacon?
food, food.
Bacon? Dog next door? I don't know.
Yeah.
Dog bark. That's it.
I love what I get from the dog. She cuddles with me, sits there while I read,
It's perfect.
excited when I get home. I told Andy, why can't you be as excited as she is when I get home?
He is. He is. He just doesn't have a tail. You'd see it.
Just
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Laurel, this is great. I really appreciate it. And I really love being your partner because you make life so easy. You've got so many great skills. You build a great team. I
we
mean,
have fun.
yeah. One of your employees I literally saw today going upside down in a military jet. I don't even know where you find these people. But thank you so much for being on again. And for everyone watching, listening, thank you. And we will see you next week.